Porpoising is when it's too deep to run or wade, but too shallow to swim. That just involves diving in, grabbing hold of the sand and pushing back up on 45-degree angle, and just doing that a few times, then it'll be the right depth to start swimming, and that is faster than swimming. Porpoising can save heaps of time and set you up for a good race.
There's a real technique to wading. I think everyone has to remember that the water is solid. So it's like doing hurdles, and it is exhausting. So it is something that you should definitely practice. If you practice that a few times, you'll be amazed at how much better it feels and how you can get your heart rate down just from a little bit of practice.
So when you've got a beach start in open water, you really want to make sure that you get a perfect start so you can get out ahead of the pack and not get stuck in the pack and slow down. And doing that, you obviously need to run out and start porpoising. My advice for this is, before you race, you practice how far you're going to run out, when you're going to start wading, and then when you start porpoising and start swimming. And that's the best advice. You don't want to be putting your wetsuit on and just waiting on the start line. You've already gone for your swim, you've warmed up, yet you haven't practiced on the line before the race.
This requires a lot of practice, and every beach is different. I like to run in as fast as I can, and as soon as my ankles touch the water, I start to widen out my stride and start that wading technique. Once the water gets up, maybe past my knees, up towards my hips, I'll start dolphining. And dolphining, you want to do that for probably as long as possible because you're still using less energy and probably going faster than you are swimming. So I'll dolphin up until probably just before chest depth, take that one last dolphin, and then dive out and start the swimming.
So if you're swimming in towards the finish line, it's really important to be getting up and running and wading at the right depth. If you get up too early, then you lose all momentum, and then you have to go dive back down and keep trying to swim and get your speed up again. But then if you get up too late, someone's already run past you. When you're swimming in, you'd have to wait till about hip or even thigh depth before you would even get up and try and porpoise. It's really, really hard to actually work that out by even just sighting the bottom. So usually it's better to keep going. Some people will say until you're touching the bottom, but I think that's too late. If you're a good wader, you should be able to get up in at least, again, thigh depth, and be almost able to judge that your hands are not far from the bottom, so just get up and run.
Yeah, swimming back into the beach, stepping up early can cost you a race. And if you step up early and you're not racing to win, it's still going to cost you a couple of places and some time. One of the safest bets, I think, is you swim until you touch the sand with your hands. You might want to reach down a little bit further when you think you're getting closer to the shore, but it's a really safe way. That way you know you'll be standing up probably in about waist depth water, couple of dolphins, grit the teeth, get the legs up, and race back towards the finish line.
If you get up and it's just that bit too early, just do a few porpoises instead of trying to swim, and then you should be okay and close enough to the shore to get your legs up and start wading. But that takes a lot of energy and use of your arms as well if you're fatigued already.
So obviously if you get the start right, and especially if you get those porpoises right, you'll be 3 or 4 metres in front of the pack before the swim race has even started, which is a huge advantage, and that'll also give you confidence knowing when you're running up the beach and you've got a porpoise in the water then run up the beach, if you've got someone next to you, you can beat them up the beach.
So the benefits of getting this right will cut seconds off your time.